Listen, I hope y'all WNBA players is paying attention. They will replace y'all asses. They have Caitlin Clark. They have Paige Beckers under contract. They have Angel Reese. They have replacement players they can go get. They have a slew of rookies they are about to draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing perhaps the greatest karma moment in the history of professional sports. And it's unfolding right now, live on national television. For 2 long years, we watched WNBA veterans, the supposed leaders of the game, engage in a calculated campaign of jealousy, petty sabotage, and hostility against Caitlin Clark. They tried to physically overpower her on the court. They tried to break her spirit through the media. They even tried to freeze her out of the Olympic stage. They believed that by making her life miserable, they could dim her light and maintain their grip on the league. But today, the debt is due, and the price is everything they built. We now have official confirmation. The sport's major power brokers, the WNBA owners, NBC Universal, and Peacock, have made a definitive move. They are ditching the old guard to move forward exclusively with the Caitlin Clark business model. The headline is undeniable. They lost everything. And this wasn't bad luck. They lost because their toxic behavior made them unmarketable, unwatchable, and ultimately replaceable. While those veterans sit at home, trapped in a bitter labor dispute that might cost them their entire season, Caitlin Clark is at the head table of the NBA on NBC. She's laughing with legends, signing massive deals, and officially becoming the face of American basketball. The plan to destroy her didn't just fail. It backfired so spectacularly that it has erased the relevance of the very people who plotted her downfall.
WNBA, NBC Peacock, they're pushing on and moving on with their promo, regardless if y'all signing this deal or not, because I'm pretty sure they got a contingency plan in place. They have a contingency.
You have to understand the sheer magnitude of this shift. NBC and Peacock just finalized a massive media rights deal with both the NBA and the WNBA. Under normal circumstances, a network would spend months celebrating the league's history. You have to understand the sheer magnitude and honoring the legends of the game. NBC and Peacock look at the reality of the situation. A massive media rights deal with both the NBA and the WNBA. They aren't reaching out to normal circumstances. They aren't interested in the players who celebrated the league's history, throwing shade, interviewing veteran icons, and they are calling one legends of the game. One person only. Look at the reality of the situation. By hiring her as a special contributor for their NBA coverage, they aren't reaching out to Brianna sending a deliberate message. They aren't interested in the players. Executives spent the last year data throwing shade. They analyzed the social media engagement. They are calling one person, and most importantly, one person only. They witnessed the nasty tactics. By hiring her as a special contributor, they saw their NBA coverage. Ultimately, sending a deliberate message. They decided they are no longer in the business of promoting toxic jealousy. They analyzed the social business of sunshine. And most importantly, and record-breaking witness the nasty tactics. Caitlin Clark represents the future. Cheap shots, a positive, they saw the blatant resentment, fan-friendly powerhouse. They decided they are no longer in the business of promoting toxic jealousy. Exclusive club. They want to be in the business of sunshine, audience, buckets. NBC made a calculated business decision. Caitlin Clark represents the future. That dead weight, a positive, the entire old guard of the WNBA powerhouse. The veterans represent the past, a bitter, gatekeeping, exclusive club that seemingly hates its own audience. NBC made a calculated business decision to cut the dead weight, and that dead weight is the entire old guard of the WNBA.
See, sports, what they did is they flexed on them, okay? They flexed on them. Here it says, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. The WNBA is coming to NBC and Peacock. So
let's dig deeper into why this is happening. Right now, WNBA owners are locked in a high-stakes standoff with the Players Association. The players are threatening to strike, demanding a 30% revenue share and millions in salary hikes. And who's leading this charge? The same veterans who refuse to embrace the Caitlin Clark effect. Plus, the owners are looking at these demands and, quite frankly, they're laughing. Why? Because they know the cold, hard truth. Without Caitlin Clark, there is no massive revenue to share. Fans aren't flocking to Peacock to watch the players who tried to push Caitlin down. They're subscribing to watch Caitlin herself. Seeing this, the owners and the networks have formed a strategic alliance. They've realized they don't need the WNBA as a collective entity to turn a profit. They just need the Caitlin Clark show. by giving her this massive platform on NBC. Independent of the WNBA season, they have effectively insulated their biggest asset from the league's toxicity. If the veterans decide to strike, fine, let them. While they're off the court, Caitlin will be on national TV every Sunday night, analyzing LeBron James and the NBA's elite. She wins either way. The veterans played a game of chicken with the golden goose, and now they're the ones left starving.
Absolute abomination. Nike dropping the ball. Here it says Nike confirmed to Adweek it will not run a commercial during Super Bowl 60 this year, so there won't be a Nike X Caitlin Clark spot during the game. Listen, man, this don't make sense. Caitlin Clark's sneakers are about to drop.
Streaming services are ruthless. They prioritize only two things: acquisition and retention. So, who drives those subscriptions? Is it the player complaining about charter flights and insulting new fans? No, it's the player hitting logo threes while staying humble. Peacock has effectively abandoned the idea of marketing the WNBA as a broad league. Look at the promotional material. It is Caitlin-centric. It is Caitlin-focused. The other players have been relegated to background extras in their own movie. This is the direct consequence of their hostility. When you spend a year telling the world Caitlin isn't that good or that she needs to wait her turn, you're telling the audience not to care. And guess what? The audience listened. They don't care about the veterans. They only care about the girl you tried to bully. The veterans tried to gatekeep the league, but they only succeeded in locking themselves inside a burning building while Caitlin walked out the front door with the keys to the kingdom. Think about the psychological blow this deals to the old guard. Imagine being a 10-year veteran, a multi-time champion, and watching NBC fly Caitlin Clark to Madison Square Garden to sit with legends like Vince Carter and Carmelo Anthony, while you sit on your couch wondering if your paycheck will even clear this month. It must be eating them alive. But this is a self-inflicted wound. If they had mentored her, if they had realized that a rising tide lifts all boats, they would be sitting right there next to her. They'd have the endorsements. They'd have the NBC segments. But their egos wouldn't allow it. Jealousy blinded them. They chose petty grievances over generational wealth. And now, NBC has moved on. The network realizes that Caitlin Clark transcends the WNBA. She is a cultural phenomenon that doesn't require their permission to exist. The nasty tactics weren't just physical, they were systemic. From referees swallowing whistles to coaches making snide remarks and legends diminishing her on podcasts. NBC and corporate America watched it all. And corporate America hates liability. The veterans became a liability. They became bad for business. They turned the WNBA into a soap opera of hate instead of a celebration of basketball. Caitlin, however, never said a word. She didn't engage. She just showed up, signed autographs, and respected the game. NBC is rewarding that professionalism. They are validating the fans and signaling that character matters. This isn't just a business move. It's a corporate endorsement of Caitlin's character and a condemnation of the veterans' behavior. This signals the end of an era. The era of the gatekeeper is over. The owners are done coddling players who hold the league back. By empowering Caitlin so visibly, they are stripping power from the union. The union can threaten a strike, but if the face of the league is already employed by NBC, their leverage is gone. Owners have bypassed the toxicity and built a direct pipeline from Caitlin to the fans, cutting out the bitter middlemen. The veterans are now screaming into the void. They can protest, they can post, but they cannot stop the machine. The machine has chosen its driver, the rookie from Iowa. This is a lesson in humility that will be studied for decades. The WNBA veterans held a winning lottery ticket. All they had to do was cash it. All they had to do was smile and say, "Welcome, Caitlin." Instead, they tore it up and threw it in her face. Now, they're watching her print her own money while they beg for scraps. They lost the media war. They lost the fan war. And now, they've lost the financial war. NBC, Peacock, the owners, and the fans have all spoken. The WNBA is no longer a democracy of players. It is the kingdom of Clark. For those who tried to stop her, the only thing left is to fade into obscurity. They tried to cancel Caitlin Clark, but in the end, they only canceled themselves. The revolution will be televised on NBC, and the veterans won't even be invited to the watch party.